Hello, all you beautiful people and non-sorceress deletionists. Dark Humility here with a brand new mini guide and demo from the closed beta in Season 11. Today we have a Sorceress highlighted build charged bolt. Just to give you guys some disclaimers, it is possible, of course, by the end of open beta with the final patch notes that not everything you see here will be completely accurate, as they may have decided to make some adjustments to any and all builds that we do showcase here on YouTube. Also, there's plenty of other builds and power loaders you can check out from my previous seasons that will still be accurate in this season. Check those out as well, and of course the new season will start 10 a.m. PT, May 16th. See you guys there, and of course with a new tier list launched on YouTube around the 13th or 14th. Let's get into it. So, Charged Boltress. You might think the Charged Boltress is absolutely garbage if you remember the bolts. Just hit the monsters and stop, and it's not actually that strong, but now we live in a different universe where the charged bolts actually pierce through the monsters they hit and have a range of 40 as of making this video. Of course, we'll go over all the stats, the skills, the mercenary, the gear, and we'll show you guys the demos, what she is truly capable of what she is actually capable of a lot. Alright, anyhow, so what we did was we put pretty much all our points into energy after putting enough strength to wear our gear. We could balance out the vitality a bit more if we wanted to, but since we are an ES build, we do want to make sure we have as much mana as possible. Another disclaimer, of course, is that we cannot test corruptions, only socket corruptions for damage. You could definitely achieve very similar damage as we are achieving here. By having all these different like life per kill, mana per kill corruptions, possibly taking away some facets and making it have a lot better sustain, way better resistances. But we're trying to show you guys what is possible in the late game once you achieve as much damage as possible. And obviously, even not at this level, it will still perform very well in lower tier maps. But we like to test and show off the performance in higher tier maps. That is also how we tier the builds, just to show you guys how builds perform in regards to all endgame content for the most part, and even bosses if relevant. Of course, this build can kill bosses as well. It is very strong as the charge bolts shotgun very effectively. Alright, so anyway, the most important stats, of course, are going to be the lightning pierce, negative enemy lightning res, percent, and the plus skills. Your 200 FCR is going to maximize our DPS, and life and mana per kill would be very key for sustain, in addition to having max res or even higher energy shield would actually negate the need for as much res, so long as you maintained a mana pool. Remember, energy shield does persist even if you hit 0 mana from the previous seasons, so it is still a beast. So besides the fact that charge bolts can now pierce in the new season, which is incredible enough, you also have that change from the previous season, and also the teleport debuff can get down to 0 if you hit level 50 teleport, which is why when we actually do our skills, we're going to max out charge bolt, telekinesis, and lightning for maximum damage on charge bolt, also maximum lightning mastery. You're going to want to max out teleport to reduce that debuff as much as possible. 1 point chilling armor for some defense against ranged, as we are not jumping directly into the monsters, ideally on this build, but just in front of them. And then warmth, and of course maxing, putting any remainder points in energy shield. If you use memory staff, you could pre-buff energy shield quite a bit more. But of course, you could also just put a lot more points into it, maybe sacrifice some teleport debuff while still maintaining similar damage in a lot of cases. But of course here, we'll show you all that she is capable of. We also have a Mercenary that is focused on just being defensive while having Infinity for Conviction Aura, negative 34 enemy light res. Earlier in the game, Static Field on an Act 3 Mercenary or lower resist proc from a Pus Spitter on an Act 1 Mercenary would also do pretty well. Of course, there's a lot of areas you can also farm in LOD or even maps that don't have light immunes. And of course, with magic maps being better this season, you might want to try those out instead of LOD farming if you get bored and you're still not strong enough to farm full-fledged rare maps. You definitely have options this season, magic maps having much better and pronounced stats. But anyhow, damage reduction, defense. This build, by the way, is incredible. Iron Skin multiplies your defense. You'll notice if I take it on and back off, I lose 6,000 defense on the Mercenary. Sigurd's Staunch is no joke. You can actually go a you can go a defense approach on your own gear as well. Particularly if you have a lot of very high defense items, maybe something like Steel Carapace. Plus this could be pretty insane. But Life Leech as well, and damage reduction, and Op You Frozen. A lot of basics that just increases defense and damage, while also maintaining that aura for us. Nothing too special. Alright, and then of course, let's go over our own gear. Lots of facets, as you can see, it is just teched out for that, as this is what's most easiest to test in the beta. Lots of plus skills, lots of damage, lightning facets, Ormus, Griffins. More res could be much more easily achieved by like wearing like Viper Magi, for instance. Sustained through Q Hagens, but then you need more faster cast rate. We have this new ring constricting loop, which is really cool. Gives us some sustain while also giving us faster cast rate. Got some mana per kill in the Sulk Weaves, and I'm just trying to hit 200 FCR. Call to Arms Lidless, of course this casts lower resist, skills, high FCR, the highest negative enemy res you could possibly get, plus getting a maximum of 6 sockets. It's hard to come across as much damage as Ming Songs is going to give you this season, despite there of course being other options for damage. This is definitely one of the better ones. And then of course just some skillers and life res down there, some very basic stuff, and of course CTA and Lidless on swap. Remember, of course, you can even bow in town now, which is pretty awesome. Another really awesome update in Season 11. In addition, of course, to so many, such as the currency tab. Just crazy stuff, really. Alright, let's see what she is made of. Is it all talk? Is it all bluster? Or is she actually really strong? Let's see it here. Oh my goodness. Wow. What a monster, right? What a monster. Woo! Well, this is some fun stuff. Yeah, so with the range of 40 now, there's been a few iterations in closed beta. It's really strong. As you can see, if I just teleport right in front of the monsters, get insane coverage. Charge Bolt is totally in now. It is one of those builds that is competitive for one of the strongest Sorc builds this season. And most likely the S tier. If not mid S tier, the bottom of S tier. One of the very strongest. Is some beautiful stuff. And let's see here. 200 FCR is always nice. You can see I could even take a bit of a hit, despite not being built for survivability at all. You can see he's still shotgun the boss, and poof. Get off me! Get off me! Alright. And then I'll even show her off in another map here, just to show you how ridiculous. But yeah, melts bosses, melts everything. Super fast gameplay. And even without all this gear, lower tier maps are much more possible. And as you can see, even the higher tier maps, this Sorceress probably over geared for damage big time. But once again, it's easiest to test in beta. Also keep in mind that mana potions would be a lot more efficient for sustain, even without the sustain on my gear. But it's so easy just to create juves that I just typically rely on juve creation, and we stick to that. But it's not just a cower, any build can cow, right? Any build can cow. This build can do any map. Also, cool factoid, you can actually get minions of destruction as a possible modifier on maps now, which is really neat. And Cannon of Secheron is still dangerous, but it is not nearly as annoying anymore, particularly for lightning and cold builds, because they reduce the effectiveness of Monster Decrepify, which is actually really awesome. It's actually incredibly awesome. I'll show you guys. That is not nearly as effective, it's not nearly as punishing, and they don't cast it nearly as often, opting to do other actions than just curse you a lot more often, which is really awesome. Another awesome change this season. Every season just gets better and better and better. But yeah, remember guys to check out this build and several of my other builds from the last 2 seasons, and this build here on my YouTube. Let me know what you guys think, of course, in the comments below about the Charged Voltress. Does this look like a build you're going to play? A lot of awesome Sorceress changes this season, so you definitely have a lot of awesome new flavors, but even a lot of old flavors that are still incredibly strong, potentially even with new approaches. But DH, the Mad Lad from the Mad Lab, over and out. See you guys in the next one. See you guys. Let's get it. Let's smash it. Season 11, May 16th. See you there. And of course, the new tier list. With the new tier list, around the 13th or 14th. Tier list and infographic. How could we ever do without what Reddit calls the sacred tablets? See you guys soon.